Have you ever stopped to think that the world's greatest fortunes, the most revolutionary ideas, were born not from a brilliant invention, but from a simple, yet profound, change in perspective? It's about seeing the world just a little differently than everyone else. Today, we're going to dive deep into the story of a man who looked at a simple hamburger and didn't just see a meal, he saw an empire. This is the incredible story of Ray Kroc, the visionary who took a small, local diner and transformed it into the largest, most recognizable fast food chain on the entire planet. Before the Golden Arches became a global symbol, before his name was synonymous with astronomical success, Ray Kroc was just a traveling salesman. Picture this, a man in his 50s, driving for endless miles across the vast American landscape. His product, multi-mixer milkshake machines. He'd go from restaurant to restaurant, pitching his machines, facing rejection after rejection. The pay was modest, the journeys were long and lonely, but there was a fire in him that never went out. His curiosity, his relentless drive, and his open mind were his constant companions. He was always observing, always learning, always searching for that one big opportunity he knew was out there. He wasn't just selling machines, he was studying the anatomy of the American restaurant business, one diner at a time. Then, in the year 1954, a single order changed everything. He received an unusually large request for his mixers from a small, unassuming restaurant in San Bernardino, California. The name on the order was McDonald's. Intrigued, Ray decided to drive out and see it for himself. When he arrived, what he saw was both modest and utterly electrifying. There was a long line of customers, a buzz of happy energy in the air, and the service was unlike anything he had ever witnessed. It was astonishingly fast. While any other person would have just seen a popular, well-run burger joint, Ray Kroc saw something far, far bigger. He saw a revolution in the making. He saw the future. The magic wasn't in the sauce or the secret recipe. The magic was in the system. The McDonald brothers, Dick and Mac, had engineered a process of pure genius. They had broken down the entire operation into simple, repeatable steps. Each employee had one specific task, and they performed it with precision and speed. It was like watching a perfectly tuned orchestra, a symphony of efficiency where every single note was played to perfection. Burgers were assembled and served in a matter of seconds, not minutes. Fries were consistently crispy, shakes were consistently cold, and most importantly, customers were consistently leaving with a smile. Ray stood there, watching in absolute awe, and a single powerful thought ignited in his mind. If this system works so brilliantly here, it can work absolutely anywhere in the world. And this is where the genius of Ray Kroc truly shines. While everyone else, including the McDonald brothers themselves, was focused on selling burgers, Ray's mind immediately focused on something else entirely. He wasn't thinking about the food. He was mesmerized by the asterisk system asterisk. He understood that the real product wasn't the hamburger. The real product was the business model itself. And that's when his grand vision clicked into place, a vision that would change the course of business history. His idea wasn't just to open another McDonald's. To replicate that perfectly tuned orchestra in every town and city across America, and eventually, the world. This wasn't just an expansion plan, it was the birth of the McDonald's Corporation, a global empire built not on ground beef, but on vision, strategy, and the courage to think bigger than anyone else. Many years later, long after McDonald's had become a household name, Ray Kroc was giving a lecture to a group of MBA students at a university. He stood before the bright young minds and posed a simple question: "What business do you think I am in?" The room filled with a few confident chuckles. The answer seemed obvious. One student called out, "Ray, everyone knows you're in the hamburger business." The whole room nodded in agreement. Ray paused, a knowing smile spreading across his face, and then he delivered the line that would become legendary. "Wrong," he said calmly. "I'm not in the hamburger business. My business is real estate." A wave of confusion washed over the students. He went on to explain the true foundation of his empire. McDonald's primary source of wealth didn't come from the profit margin on a burger and fries. The real money, the true, enduring fortune, came from owning the land and the building that each and every franchise operated on. The corporation would identify a prime intersection, buy the real estate, and then lease it to the franchisee. The franchisee was essentially paying rent to McDonald's, month after month, year after year. Each new restaurant wasn't just a point of sale for food. It was a valuable, income-generating piece of property added to the company's ever-growing portfolio. That is where the real, unshakable wealth was being built. Robert Kiyosaki, the celebrated author of the phenomenal book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, uses this exact story to illustrate one of his most powerful and fundamental financial lessons. It's a concept that separates the mindset of the wealthy from everyone else. Most people work in a business. They focus on their specific job, on improving their skills, on getting a promotion. But very few people take a step back and truly understand the business that they are in. While the employees and even many franchisees were focused on the product, the burgers and fries, Ray Kroc, the rich dad in this scenario, was focused on the underlying asset, the system that generates passive, long-term income. He wasn't just selling hamburgers, he was selling a vision, a structure, and most importantly, he was acquiring assets. And that is the fundamental difference between someone who simply works for a living and someone who builds something lasting, something that will generate wealth for generations. So, I want you to take a moment and ask yourself that same question. Think about your job, your career, your business. Do you really, truly understand the business that you're in? Are you looking at the foundation of your success, or are you just focused on the surface-level activities? Are you the one making the burgers, or are you the one thinking about the real estate underneath the restaurant? True, meaningful growth, whether it's in your finances, your career, or your life, begins the moment we change how we see the things we do every day. Vision always comes before achievement. The story of Ray Kroc is a timeless reminder that incredible opportunities are all around us, hidden in plain sight, but they are only visible to those with awakened minds, to those who dare to look past the obvious and see the underlying structure. While some people see a simple hamburger, others see a global empire, and that critical difference, it's all in the mind. If this story sparked something in you and made you think, please give this video a like. Subscribe to the channel for more stories that expand your perspective, and share it with someone you know who is ready to see the world differently. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.